In this video, we're going to talk about how to find your sales role play partner. This is one of the most powerful exercises you can do when you're trying to learn sales or perfect your sales process. So let's dig into it. All right, we're inside of my computer. Let's go. So here's what we're going to cover today. Sales role play, how to find your partner, and then a summary at the end. Let's go. And as always, make sure that you subscribe and follow me on Instagram for important updates regarding the course. Share the course. I need you guys' help. Just spread the word. Tell friends and family and people you know about the course that might need it. Warning, this is the most important video in the entire course right now. Watch the entire video. Don't skip around. Don't fast forward. And a pro tip, watch the video in double speed if you want to save yourself some time. So, sales role play, like why do we do it? So basically, now you have everything that you need to start selling, right? However, you might lack some confidence in presenting your offer to your potential client. And this is completely normal, and we all go through this, right? You can easily combat this with some sales role play. So till this day, sometimes when, I haven't been on a sales call for a couple of days, or I've been traveling and I haven't done a sales call for a week, and I'm gonna jump on a new sales call with a new prospect, I might be like, not nervous, but I'm a little bit like rusty. I'm a little bit like, I have this feeling in my stomach, right? But as soon as we start the call, I start to talk with the person, it removes or it disappears immediately, essentially, right? But I wanted to include this in here because I know how important this is. I know that a lot of people are very uncomfortable with sales if you haven't done it before, and that is completely normal. And by doing sales role play, you can really get over that hurdle, because faking a sales call with somebody else that you haven't met before, it's kind of like the exact same thing as doing a real sales call. And now when you have the pitch deck, it's going to be a lot easier for you. Again, because I'm talking about this in the previous video as well. You can kind of reflect the attention from yourself onto the screen as well. And it's easier as well to talk about your service when you have a presentation, because you have something visually on the screen that you can talk about. But doing sales role play is very, very powerful to build up that initial confidence and just become like get your feet wet and become warm in the clothes and understand how to do it and actually talk with another person to get used to actually presenting it to another person, right? And a really cool way that you can do sales role play is actually just to visualize it. So you can role play sales in your own imagination. And this is very, very powerful, right? So simply sit in front of your computer, ask your spin questions, and pretend that you're getting certain questions that you respond to. And do the same thing with your pitch deck. So, in the beginning, I used to sit in front of my computer and talk for myself, right? Nobody was in my office, so nobody could hear what I was saying, right? And I would just present, greet somebody. I would read through my questions, look into the camera, go through the spin questions, go through the presentation, just to become used to it. Okay, when I show this slide, I can mention this, and then I change to this slide. And then over time, as you do it over and over again, you're not even gonna think about it. You're just gonna do the same thing over and over again, essentially, right? But visualizing it, it's very powerful. Why do you think top athletes are visualizing? And if you talk with any athlete, they will tell you that they visualize quite a bit, or at least the best ones in the world. Like Tiger Woods, for example, they even hypnotize themselves sometimes before they're gonna do big competitions. They visualize every shot. And people that swim or skiing, if you watch people that do downhill skiing and racing, you can see that on the backstage, they're standing there with their eyes closed, and because they visualize the entire course. And so yeah, it's super powerful. And they also did a test, or a study rather, when they had 3 different test groups. Group number 1, it was basically how to improve your hoop or your basketball shot, right? So there were 3 different groups. They all did the initial baseline first. So all the different 3 groups, they got 20 shots or something like that, and they just got the baseline. How many out of 20 did they get into the hoop, essentially, right? Or how many points did they score? Then group number 1, they went away for 2 weeks and they didn't practice anything. And then they came back 2 weeks later and they redid the test, and they see how much they improved. Group number 2, they basically went back, and for 2 weeks they practiced for 20 minutes every single day. So they had a ball and a hoop, and they just stand for 20 minutes every single day for 20 minutes. And then they came back and redid the test and see how much they improved. And then the third group, they went back and they only visualized how to throw the perfect hoop for 2 weeks. So they didn't do it in the actual physical way, but they just sat at home in their sofa or whatever, in a comfortable chair, and they just visualized practicing throwing hoops in their imagination. And then they went back after 2 weeks and see how much they improved. The ones who didn't practice at all, they didn't improve anything. And the ones who actually did the actual shot, I think they improved by like 20% or something like that over 2 weeks. So they got 20% on average better score. And the ones who only did imagination, I don't remember exactly, but it was like they improved by like 17 or 18% or something like that. So it wasn't as good as doing it in the real life, but they still improved by a lot by just imagining it. So if you visualize and actually do it in your mind, and you practice that way, combined with doing it in the real life, if you combine the two, that's how you do it in a really, really good way, right? So visualizing is very, very powerful, because you can if you have a good imagination, you can go through pretty much every scenario in your head. So, but you also want to find a partner, right? So you can also find another member in the community to role play sales with. This is both fun and extremely valuable practice. It's an extremely valuable practice. One is the salesperson and the other is the buyer, and then you switch in between. So one is role playing as the salesperson, you go through the script, another one is the buyer, and then you do vice versa, right? And depending on your different skill levels, you know, if the seller is quite experienced, then you as the buyer can be a little bit more, you know, you can ask harder questions, you can have objections, you can sit there and think like, I don't know if this is something that I should do, and then it's up to the salesperson to dig into more spin questions, right? Circle back to the problem, dig into the problem, circle back to the desire, dig into the desire, and kind of get them closer and closer to the sale, right? So finding a partner, and you have the community with thousands of members in it. So it's like finding another person who want to practice sales with you, it's going to be super easy. So definitely utilize that. So powerful. Practicing sales is extremely powerful. You will learn a lot about sales by practicing it. And the most important thing is to become comfortable with asking your questions, identifying when to dig deeper with your spin questions and how to present your pitch deck. So when I say dig deeper with spin questions, you should know what that is right now, right? With implication and need payoff questions. And that's really what you should focus on the call. You know, ask the questions, dig deeper into the questions, take notes, and then retell the story back to the person, right? We've gone through this in detail already. You become better and better at digging deeper. You become better and better at retelling the story. Then you ask for permission to share. Then you go through your pitch deck presentation, and then you handle the objections, and you try to get them closer and closer to the sale, right? So practicing it's literally worth gold. It is worth gold. This is where you make the money, really, in the sales, right? So now let me help you to how to identify a partner. So the easiest way to identify your sales roleplay partner is obviously to leverage the community, right? So simply create a post in the community stating that you're looking for a sales roleplay partner. And stand out. So when you do this post, record like a video using Loom. This is what I recommend, right? So present who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for. You can utilize the job description below that I will show you here in a sec, both in your post and in your Loom video. Because you're gonna show your face on the Google Meet as well and on the Zoom as well. So why not just record a Loom video immediately? If you want more responses and people to connect with you and actually find a better sales partner, create a Loom video and show them who you are, show them how you move, tell them a little bit about yourself, and tell them what you're looking for as well. Then I'm gonna help you with it in here just a second. Also, what I wanna mention, right? Come prepared. So only look for a sales roleplay partner once you've completed everything in module 1 to 4. You've watched all of the videos in full, implemented and taken action on everything. You should already have a niche, service, and offer selected. Your spin questions and pitch deck should be complete. Because trust me, the last thing you want to do is to look for a sales roleplay partner and then go to the call, and then you meet this person who have gone through the entire course and prepared everything, and they're ready to go, and then it's your turn, and you're gonna, hey, I don't have my spin questions, or I don't have my pitch deck presentation is half-assed, it's not complete yet, you haven't watched the videos. If the other person that you're gonna role play with is referring to things in the course and you don't know what that is, it's just gonna be weird, and the other person is just gonna be a little bit pissed off that you're kind of wasting his or her time, right? So come prepared. So before you start to actually role play sales, make sure that you have everything prepared inside the course. You can be a complete beginner, don't get me wrong. You don't have to be a good salesperson yet. You just have to have everything prepared. Your niche, your service, your pitch deck presentation should be complete. You should have gone through it a little bit yourself so that you know how to present it. You should also have your spin questions complete, because the two partners, you and the other person, when you jump on a call and you're gonna practice, you wanna practice. You don't wanna, I'm sure if you have everything prepared, you wouldn't want to have like another person coming onto the call asking you a ton of questions and you have to like help him to set up the pitch deck. It's like, go watch the videos, right? So have some respect for other people, come prepared to the actual sales call. Also, come prepared before you start looking for a sales partner, right? Or a sales role play partner. Experience. So this is something that's worth noting as well. So an experienced salesperson can most definitely practice with a beginner, no problem at all. However, if you're looking for someone with a specific level of experience, be sure to point that out. So in my case, for example, I've been doing quite a bit of sales. I can definitely role play sales with somebody who's never done sales before. When I present my pitch deck to them, it's actually fun for me as an experienced salesperson to sell to somebody who has no sales experience, because that's kind of how it is in real life, because you're going to sell to a lot of people who not necessarily are the best at sales. So, that's how it can be in real life as well, right? And also when I am the potential buyer, it's kind of fun for me to work with somebody who's a new beginner, because I can help them to evolve and grow as well by asking them the right questions or giving them feedback on when to dig deeper and how to retell the story better in the spin questions and all of that, right? So experience, it doesn't really matter, but if you're looking for somebody who has a little bit more experience, then just make sure that you point that out in the Loom video, in your post, in the community, and also in the text as well. So let me help you right now with the text. So this is a post, like a post that you can post inside of the community together with your video that you can upload into the community, right? So the headline could, for example, be, "Are you my new sales roleplay partner?" ? Right? Clear, to the point, this is what you're looking for. And then you just list out your requirements. So my requirements: 1, you've completed module 1 through 4, you've watched all of the videos in full, you've taken action and implemented everything, you have a niche, service, and offer selected, you have your spin questions and pitch deck complete, right? It's crystal clear. If you have not done this yet, I'm not a good fit for you. So this is very important. List out that the person that you're looking for have completed all of this. Okay, and have your spin questions and pitch deck complete, and now you're ready to perfect your sales skills together with me. Are you interested? ? Simply comment yes below and let's connect. So this is how you can just simply do this post, and if you want to have this post into your computer, you can go to maxpearson.com/sales-partner. So let me show you what that looks like. maxpearson.com/sales-partner. If you go here, then you will be taken to this page. You can just copy paste this text. You can also click on file, make a copy to your own drive, or download it to your computer. And you can just take this, post it in the community. Also, I highly recommend record the Loom video, download the Loom video to your phone or to your computer, and also upload that video then onto, or just record it on your phone. You can do that for the matter. And just have the video together with this one posted inside the community as well. It's just going to help you to stand out and get more recognition even when you're looking for a sales partner, right? And it also gives the person who's actually want to figure out a little bit more about who you are. Like if I'm looking for a sales partner, I want to see who you are. Before I kind of jump on a call with you, I kind of would like to know what you are, what you look like, how you talk, kind of see your personality. At least that's going to help you to stand out. So I highly recommend to include a video when you do this post, essentially, right? So maxpearson.com/sales-partner. And remember to keep this in mind, right? Come prepared and follow these requirements, essentially. All right. So summary. All right. Practice sales. So practice sales as much as you can, essentially. It's literally worth gold. Literally worth gold, okay? Focus on improving your spin skills, dig deeper into problems and desires, figure out the root cause of why the prospect is on the sales call with you. What is the main motivator and driver? So this is why you want to dig deeper with implication and need payoff questions, right? Because not everybody is on the sales call with you because they want to make more money in their business. It can be 1,000 different things. It might be personal motivator that, their dad or their spouse or their wife are having some financial difficulties and they have to fix this, or they want to make more money so that they can get their kid to college, or they're just working too much so they can't spend any time with their family, so he or she has to grow their business so that they can hire another person to help them, and the only way for them to be able to help somebody is to make more money, essentially, right? So, and people are not going to tell you this unless you ask them. They're not going to open up. So that's why you want to dig deeper, find like the main motivator and driver, because as they tell you about that thing is becoming more real as well. Now that thing is a factor in the call. So now if I tell you that, I need to change because I need to get my kid into college. Like if I'm telling you that, now I've told that to the salesperson and now he's aware of that. So now it's like, hey, you know, I should definitely do this, right? Like, or I should do something at least, right? So get this out, make sure that you get things out on the table, so that people become aware of like, why am I actually looking for a solution to this? And what's the potential, and what's the risk if I do this, and what's the risk if I don't do this? Because there's always a risk involved. That's something important to remember, right? You know, if you buy a service, it's a risk to buy the service, you know, especially when you hire somebody for marketing, because they're gonna spend your money to generate leads. And obviously it's up to you as the agency to showcase to them that, hey, like we know what we're doing, and these are the results we've been doing in the past, and we have the risk reversal and all of that. But there's still risk involved in hiring you, right? But doing the pitch deck and all of that, you're gonna minimize the risk and get them to buy, right? But there's also a risk in not buying. So this is something that people don't think about, because if you identify the problems that the prospect have, then you can, there's a risk in not solving that problem as well, right? Like, what's the risk of ignoring that problem and just keep going as it is? That's also a risk, and that risk might even be bigger than the risk of looking for help, right? So that's also something that you can utilize on your sales calls to identify, like, what are the risks if you don't do this, right? Then remember also, the most successful business people I've ever met has been extremely humble people. All of them has been extremely humble people, right? Every single time I've met someone on a sales call with like a weird attitude, or they're just acting weird, or, you know, yeah, just an overall weird attitude, they've never been that successful, to be honest, right? So don't be afraid of practicing sales as a beginner. If you practice, you will become extremely good at it over time. Sell like yourself and nobody else, and you have everything you need right now to become a sales authority, as like a sales ninja with this information. And the reason why I want to mention this is because when you do sales calls, especially in the beginning, sometimes you're just gonna meet a douchebag. It happens very rarely. It never happens for me right now, because I'm in our agency right now, we're very picky about who we take a call with. You know, we make sure to vet them. They watch our VSL, they go through the survey, they leave their information about their business, how much money they're making. And if we're talking with a business owner who's making at least $1 or $2 million per year, like, they're gonna be serious, right? But if you're taking calls with anybody, sometimes you're just gonna get somebody on the call and they're gonna have a weird attitude. And every single time I met somebody with a negative attitude, or not necessarily even a negative attitude, but just a negative vibe, just not being like nice, you know, or like friendly, they've always been the least successful people I've talked to. The most successful people I've talked to, one of my oldest clients, who's making tens and tens of millions of dollars every single year. They're one of the biggest businesses in the US in their niche. He's calling me sir, all right? And I'm like, I haven't told him this, but like, you don't have to call me sir. Like, you're making so much more money than I am, and you have so much more experience than me. You don't have to call me sir, but he's calling me sir. He's super respectful, right? So hate, quote unquote, is always coming from the bottom, never from the top. So just keep that in mind. The more successful people you talk to, they're gonna be super friendly and humble to you, right? And they're going to appreciate that you have all of these things implemented. I'm teaching you in this course that you're a professional, that you have a sales process in place, that you know about spin, that you have a pitch deck, that you have a follow-up, that you have a personalized organic outreach method and all of that, right? So that's basically it for this video. Subscribe and follow. Make sure that you're following along and find your sales role-play partner, and definitely test it out. It's going to help you to improve a ton. Share the course. I need you guys' help. And for today's quote from Pablo Picasso, learn the rules like a pro so that you can break them like an artist. It's just a genius quote, right? So going through this course, like, you're gonna learn literally how to do this like a pro. But the secret is really in how you do it. Now, I can teach you everything, exactly how I do things in this course, right? But I still have my own experience that I've collected. So I can still add my own touch to everything. How I do my sales calls, how I intertwine in certain things, how I smile, what questions I ask in certain situations, how I dig deeper, what things I discuss, what things I don't discuss. And that's what Pablo is talking about here, right? Learn the rules like a pro, so that you can break them like an artist, because you really only become an artist over time once you've spent a lot of time into it, right? So it's just a genius quote. I love this quote a lot. But you're definitely learning the rules like a pro right now, like an elite pro. So you're gonna be able to get very far like a pro, but over time, you're gonna be more and more comfortable with the sales, with the spin questions, how to ask questions, when to ask them. So by then you can start to break the rules that I taught you in this course and kind of do your own put your own twist to it, put your own swagger to it if you want to, right? So that you can break the rules like an artist. Okay, that's it for this video. We're getting close to the end of here in module number 4. Let's get to work and I'll see you in the next video.